おじい様のご様子はどうだ。
一心様は命を保っておられるのが不思議なほどです。
そうか。巫女よ、もう一度言う。不死のちぎりを俺と結べ。
できませぬ、源一郎殿。たとえひとたび敗れるとも、命を落とし主を必ず取り戻す。それが我が忍びなれば。
お迎えに参上いたしました。今しばらくお待ちくだされ。
なるほどな。貴様を殺しきらぬ限り流印を我が手にはできぬ。
Hello everyone and welcome to what I believe was one of the greatest fights in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and that was the rematch against Genichiro Ashina and the Way of Tomo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I like the way it sounds. Genichiro, Way of Tomo, the Way of Lightning, I assume, or at least whoever Tomo was. Anyway, I'm getting out of hand here. This fight kinda made me love this game, considering what I had been experiencing with the game. I would have to say this fight revived a lot of the fire I had, considering that I needed some rekindling. So anyway, this is a two-stage boss battle, and of which at this point in the game, that's when they started throwing in these two-stage boss battles, which are really challenging. And you'd think that it's only gonna be one stage to the fight, but no, Way of Tomo. So you really have to pace yourself. It's okay to get hit. I believe your biggest opponent in long fights like this is frustration. Being hit is okay, dying is okay if you can still resurrect. You just need to make sure you balance your life and make sure you've got enough for the long stretch. So at least I came in here with a sizable amount of gourds, which allowed me to survive through the fight. But the beautiful thing about fighting Genichiro Ashina's first phase is that it's the same skill set from the castle, the Ashina castle. So if you remember everything for your first fight with Genichiro, which is something I was struggling with in this particular portion of the match, you are able to predict what is going to do if you have the good muscle memory. There are only a few moves you have to take note of. He does have that jumping attack which leads to multiple arrow strikes. So that is one of the few moves. He's got a lot of different ways he can shoot you now, but if you can memorize these, it will help you in the long run with Genichiro. Besides that, the first phase is actually more of the same. I feel like it's a way to don't even know how I didn't die, but it's a way to test your memory. Do you remember the Ashina generals and their skill tree? My word, I was taking a risk with my life. But do you remember any of the Ashina generals? Do you remember the moveset that they have? Do you remember Genichiro's moveset and what he does to mix you up? Once you tick all those boxes, this fight becomes generally easy. In the second life bar of the first phase, he still retains the same moveset, except now he has a few more follow-ups. You have to look out for his horizontal sweeps. Now he has a tendency, or he's prone to evading you into a, how can I say, a horizontal slash that you can only jump. Of course, you cannot tri-step horizontal attacks because they track in the directions you're going. So you have to be aware of that. Always be ready to jump because the horizontal slashes are coming and they're coming fast. Besides that, his movement is a bit more ambiguous. He does come in with the sway steps, which lead into his flurry of attacks, and there's a lot of projectiles in this section. So if you're someone who is very immobile and is not ready to either deflect or is not ready to step, you might get shot. Walking backwards in this fight is a danger. But besides that, if you've got your deflections on point, you should be fine. Like I said, I really enjoy every fight against Genichiro because I feel like it's a well-balanced fight. Both sides have enough tools to deal with each other. Genichiro doesn't feel like an overpowered opponent. He feels fair. But he changes that dynamic because earlier on in the game you actually got what's called a lightning reversal, and this is the ability to deflect lightning back to its caster to deal some huge shock damage and posture damage, which is quite cool. This is the first time in the game you actually get to use this ability, and it's like, yo man, the stage looks amazing. The lightning is great, you can evade it too, it's a great cinematic effect, and it actually makes me feel, or makes me wish, that there was magic and stuff in the game. They shouldn't have removed all those aspects of what made Dark Souls great. But anyway, in this particular section of the fight, this is the most important phase actually that you need to memorize for the future of the game. This moveset you will meet up with again. He is much more mobile than before. He's got a jumping, lunging attack, which has a thrusting attack at the end. That can be mimicred. That's fine. It's actually very telegraphed. And then after that, he has a run-up grab, which you need to get away from. He runs for a long distance, so don't think you can just evade. Besides that, it's a whole new moveset. From this point on, this is what I feel is the filler or the taste to what Genichiro has to offer later on in the game. So this particular moveset you have to memorize. It's something you have to keep in mind because you will face it again. He mixes up everything that made him a valiant foe. So the great evasion, the great sidestep movement, the flurry of attacks, the jump attacks, the horizontal attacks, he's got all of it here. And generally that's how you deal with Genichiro. Way of Tamo.